Satan can get to you. Hallelujah. You got to keep your marriage in the rock, or Satan to get to your marriage, and you'll be in a divorce court. Oh, y'all got to hear me right now. And see, and some of y'all got relationship. Oh, you better get in the rock, or you're going to lose your good thing, and you're not going to miss your water till your well run dry. Yeah, somebody said, Brother, you shouldn't have said that. No, you shut up. You need to understand that. Hallelujah. Revelation 6:15 says, and the kings of the earth and the great ones, that's Revelation 6:15, and the great ones and the rich ones and the commanders and the mighty ones and every slave and every free person hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountain. See, some people are hiding in the wrong kind of rock. They're hiding in natural rock. But my Father is a hammer. Oh, somebody might not want to hear this, but my Father is a hammer who can break the rocks into pieces. Huh? They went to the wrong kind of rock. See, but we have the opportunity now to get ourselves in the right rock. The rock that protects, not falls on you. I hope I'm talking to somebody today. They said they scream out to the rock, fall on us and hide us from the face of him sitting on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. So what they were really saying is, we're going to get under a rock to hide us from the rock. But the rock that we serve is more powerful than any rock on this planet. You can't hide from it. Hallelujah. Because the rock you're trying to hide from him under, he created that rock. So whenever he speaks, he can break that rock up and destroy it. But he is our rock. I said he is, can I speak for you today? He is our rock. Hallelujah. Isaiah 51 says Shemai, Shemai. In other words, listen to me. You, the ones of you who are pursuing righteousness, listen to me. So what he's saying there, that's not Isaac talking to y'all. That's me talking to y'all, and I'm saying, listen to me. Y'all see that? You who pursue righteousness. Seek Almighty Yah. Look to the rock you were cut out from, and to the hole of the pit you were dug from. See, we don't know where we come from until we know him. I was just witnessing to my nephew this morning before he left that we don't really understand. It wasn't the sperm and it wasn't the egg that made us who we are. It's that thing that's called the mind, the spirit of a man that's in you. That's where your intellect is. That's where your power is. That's where your knowledge is. That's where your wisdom is. And that's where you communicate with Father Yah from, is your mind. Your body don't mean nothing without your mind. All our mind needs is eyes so it can see. Our mind needs ears so it can hear. Need legs to bring us to where we need to go. Hands to do what we need to do. And a mouth to speak what our mind is telling us to speak. Hello, somebody? See, but we thought the body was all important. The body is not important to him. It's going back to the dust from which it came. But your mind is going back to where it come from. Hello, somebody? We got a mind, and it's a terrible thing to waste. So you need to remember, look to the rock that you came out from. See, that's in our ignorance, we was running around looking for what mama and daddy did, and then we trying to find, that's why these people are making so much money right now with this heritage thing. What they call that? You know, when you send to find out where you come from, where you were. DNA. See, they're trying to use DNA to prove who. Let me tell you what, all of us, let me settle that off. If anybody want to know, tell them call Isaac Williams. I'm going to tell you where you come from. You come from the dirt. Just like everybody else. You just live in a different country, different environment, but all of us, grant you now, if you got anything different than this, I'll be able to tell. But all of us grow hair on top until we get so old it disappears. And all of us got 2 feet, not 3. All of us got eyes in the same place. Nose, mouth, everything. All the men got the same thing. All the women got the same thing. All this stuff going on about who you come from and where you come from is foolishness. But we've been trained to be ignorant by society, who discriminate people by color, race, and creed. But when you come out of that ignorance, we come to find out we are all people that was cut out from the same rock. Hallelujah. And all of us in these bodies going back to the same dust. Now, you can let the company of the world play you for a fool and all that kind of stuff, but please hear me today. That's what the prophet said. Listen to me. Listen to me just for a little while. In Psalm 105, hallelujah, verse number 41, he opened the rock and water gushed out. And it ran in the dry places like a river. So what is he telling us? He's referring back to the time of Moshe, when Moshe was told to go and speak to the rock. He smote the rock twice. He did what he was told not to do. We ain't going to get into Moshe right now. We're just talking about the rock. But even though he didn't do right by the rock did what it was supposed to do. Help me somebody. Even though he mistreated the rock did what it was supposed to do. That's talking about us, isn't it? If we were cut out from a rock, we're supposed to be a rock. We might not be the rock, but we're a pebble off that rock. Okay? If a piece of rock came from that rock, and that rock is a diamond, then that little piece that came from that rock is a diamond. It's a smaller diamond, more insignificant diamond, but it's still a diamond. So here we are, cut out from him, right? So that means we are part of him, right? And we got the same thing in us that he's got in him. Because he's our Father. So if he hit the rock and water came out, then we got to find out, what is this water? We go to the mem. The mem is an alphabet of the Hebrew letter, which means chaos, water, rushing water. So what's in you? He said, you became a well of living water. Come on, somebody ought to get excited about that. He took you from a dry well and made you a well of living water. Now you are gushing forth that which is satisfying somebody other than yourself. So you can't be selfish when you are a rock of Almighty Yah. So when he opened you up, like he used Brother Jared, I was watching him use Brother Jared the other day, witnessing to a man. And that man was on the phone last night listening to the message. He couldn't make it, but he was on the phone. Didn't want to get off the phone. Why? Because he let the water out of the rock that he is. Come on, somebody ought to be glad about that. But I'm going to tell you what, if you don't act like the rock, if you don't look like the rock, if you don't do what the rock said to do, then you're not a part of the rock. But if you got the rock in you, if you got the rock in you and you are in the rock, that don't sound right. Well, I heard the Messiah say, the Father is in me and I'm in the Father. So you got to have the rock in you and you got to be in the rock. That don't sound crazy to me. That's a good place, is to be in the rock. 1 Corinthians 10, verse number 2 says, 1 Corinthians 10, 2, and all were immersed into Moshe in the cloud and in the sea. And all of them ate the same spiritual food. So how we come up with all these different religions? If we all eating the same spiritual food, then we all should be doing what the Messiah said, what Paul said, and what I'm saying. We all should believe the same thing. Something went wrong somewhere. And all drank from the same spiritual drink. If we all ate his body and drank his blood, then we got him on the inside. If he's on the inside, there should be no division, no confusion, no separation, no arguments nor disputes amongst us. Because we all got the same thing. But what I'm looking at in this world, in this parish alone, I found 380 different churches. In this parish alone. And sent a letter to every one of them to invite them to come to a table of peace and discuss the truth. I got 2 responses out of 300 and some odd invitations, and those 2 I got were negative. But at least they had enough courage to say, I don't want to do that. In this world, they got over 3,500, this is 1980s statistics, they got 3,500 denominational belief systems. But we all got one Father in heaven, and we all got one book we call the Scriptures, and we got 3,500 different denominational belief systems, and all of them say they're right. That's why we can't be a denomination. We are the body of Mashiach. Nothing more, nothing less. We can't look down on everybody in these religions because we were there too. We walked in the same darkness and enjoyed it just like them until the Father put the light on and we came out of darkness into his marvelous light. Isn't that right? They drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and the rock way back in Moses' day, according to your book, was the Messiah. Come on. It's right there, isn't it? See, people thought that was just a physical rock Moses smoked. But Moses smoked the Son of Almighty Yah not once, but twice. And he paid a price. He could not go into the promised land. That's how serious that is. That's why he said in the book of Hebrews, he said, if you willfully sin, there remain no more sacrifice for you, because you crucified the Son of Almighty Yahweh afresh. It's like you're doing it all over again on Mount Golgotha. And he said, I'm not going to stand for you doing that to my Son again. Don't think the Father don't love his Son, because he does. That rock was the Messiah. Followed them all the way through them 40 years in the wilderness, protecting them and giving them water. And then he sent manna down to feed them. And when they still cried out they wanted more, he sent quails down. And they ate so much meat it was coming out of their nose. Because just like us, we are today. We're just as greedy as we could be. We're not satisfied. We can go to our refrigerator and just stand there and look. Some of y'all never do this. You know, you open it up, look at it, and see what I want. Refrigerator full. And got a freezer just as full as the refrigerator. Come on. Don't want none of that. Now you're going to Walmart. That's us. We go to our closet. Oh, we got so many clothes in there, we can just, well, no, I ain't wearing that today.